Right. Welcome to a WHLA conversation. I am joined today by Lexie Mallary, our senior graphic designer and marketing and communications manager. I'm Jordan Kaminsky, our membership director here at the Wisconsin Hotel and Lodging Association. And this is an exciting conversation because there's a lot going on in your life, Lexie, right now. A lot of just really, really great things. But first of all, congratulations. It's been an exciting week for the WHLA as a whole. We just received the 2026 ISHA Member Services Award of Excellence. And while the award is attached to the entire association, anyone who knows this program and knows you knows that you're kind of the vision of how these member programs kind of started. And for those who don't know, the program has gone through some changes in the last few years. Wisconsin getaways, Google ads have been added. So I kind of want to start there. What was the opportunity you saw that maybe nobody else did to add some things to our member offerings, our targeted marketing offerings, take some things away and just constantly be adapting?
Yeah, so, like you said, it's been a really exciting week. Definitely, I would say all around, for sure, a team effort, though, absolutely. But no, putting together the program was actually a lot of fun. I was really honored that Bill gave me, the chance to develop that program this year and start some new things and gave me that opportunity. From conversations, I think I know of that we've had with members in the past where like with our usual, digital billboards or our print magazines that we were featuring things in, a lot of our members were looking to pivot from those. So the participation in those was kind of, waning at the time. So it was a little bit more difficult to fill those. And I was also at the time, as you know, getting dual certified and just did all things digital marketing, which was really a really good learning experience. And that's when I started learning like how to do Google ads, how to advertise on social media, like all of those digital platforms. So that kind of happened hand in hand at the same time as we were developing the new targeted marketing program. So as we were going over it, and I was like, oh, this doesn't seem that difficult. Like we can help our members in this way because there's so many of our members that don't know how to do things like that. And that kind of aligned with the feedback we were getting on people wanting to have digital opportunities and, not necessarily everything in print or, a billboard on the highway, things that were actually trackable and measurable. And what I learned about these and how we could implement them, I was like, this is perfect for the members. So yeah, I was really excited.
I think that's a powerful thing because, even if we're not all taking classes and getting certifications, we're all constantly learning and pursuing, growth in our field, our careers. But it's not always that we aggressively are trying to implement that into what we're doing at the same time and find ways to use our cross-functional training as a way to drive and change the offerings that a lot of our members are used to from being long-time members. And one thing I've always admired is that you've never sort of viewed marketing as simply creating an ad, right? It's about solving a problem for a member. What, where did that come from, and was it intentional from the beginning?
Yeah, well, I would say yes, it was intentional. I think part of working here is just, caring about our members, making sure, that their needs are solved, and trying to figure out those kind of things for them is, I think, better than obviously just we're not in this for the money. We're in this to help our members. They have so many things going on that taking one thing like this off their plate is not only fun for me but also really beneficial for them. Get those heads in beds. So yeah, I would say it's definitely. For me, working here it's so much fun. It's all about, making things easier for everybody and seeing where we can help them in places they might not have thought of otherwise.
And I see firsthand that people side and relationship side that you've cultivated when we're talking about, a great new location for one of our digital billboards or something, more niche, and tailored like MPI. Like for you, I hear you like, oh, this is a Brandon thing, or oh, this is a Denise thing.
They need,
you know our broad section of members and the idiosyncrasies of their properties and where they are in the state, like that, very personal approach. Like you don't see that every day. And, there are a lot of associations out there offering advertising opportunities. We just talked about a few, but what are some of the other things you think, help WHLA's offerings kind of stand out from the others?
Yeah, so I just think along those lines, it's the fact that people can buy into what we do at a much lower cost than they would do elsewhere. So I like to think of, we talk about this all the time. I love to think of us as like a mini ad agency, for our members and doing all those things. So, except the difference between us and those ad agencies is that we can give our members the lower commitments, the lower cost. Get your foot in the door, feel it around, see if this really makes a difference for your property, and then move forward from there. So just being able to also, on the other side of those things is that sometimes the members would have to give those ad agencies more details on what specifics they want, all that stuff. Really, for us, we can take away those barriers to entry by being able to develop those plans. Like I'm thinking of how we did Google ads. Really, we just, we have our members fill out the forms saying what they think they want, and then we'll go through, we'll scour their website, we'll make recommendations for them, and we'll write the text for them. We, want to make it as easy as possible while helping them as much as we can.
I love it. And I can speak to that firsthand from the member side, right? Our members are busy. They're juggling a million things at once. Checking a guest in, fixing a water heater, running financials. They don't always have the time to dedicate to marketing or social media because there is a million other things and fires to put out. But one of the biggest strengths of the program is that we're able to still bring their voice into everything that we do, and make sure that it's equitable across the playing field. So the operators, owners, GMs of every size can feel like they can go toe to toe with the larger budgets out there that can dedicate time and resources to their marketing. When you look at the program today, I mean, we talk all the time about metrics and data. It was a huge kind of stone into why we got the ISHA award. What are some of the specific numbers or stories that you're most proud of?
Yeah, I would say to start with, my favorite thing when I started working here was our Getaways program. So obviously Getaways just started when I was working here. About 7 years ago when I started, it was just a newsletter. We had social media, but like the advertising wasn't built into a package or anything like that. It was just you buy into the newsletter and that was it. And then advertising on our website was completely separate. So the first thing was that obviously we brought all those together because that's, people want that collective unit of advertising on all those different channels. And we started with probably about, I think 8,000 subscribers on the Getaways email when I started working here, and we're up to over 14,000 now. So just that program as a whole, and I really feel like it's about to take off. Like I think we're both excited about how Getaways looks. So specifically that program is probably my most favorite as it's standing right now because we're getting so much traction on those emails. We're getting traction on the website that people are going to and then we built in the new amplified issues. So they're going out to more people, which in turn builds our follower list, builds our subscribers. So that I'm really excited about. But in terms of new programs that we're just diving into, I'm so excited about Google Ads. I mean, it was so much fun just learning how to do it for the association, but now learning how to put different perspectives on it with the member advertising, I think that could, turn into something huge, and we can help so many smaller properties that don't even, know that Google Ads are an option even. So I think those are some of the most exciting.
I think anyone listening, here's what you're saying, and they think, so many people would come in and say, oh, we have 8,000 subscribers. That's great. Let's keep having this newsletter. Let's keep sending it out to that base and keep, trying to hit that same group of subscribers, same group of people. But, you're never, happy with the result right now, right? How do we grow it? How do we change it? How do we fold in more layers of value for our members, which I think is so important in a constantly changing and shifting
different
landscape.
audiences and everything, because everybody has that different audience that they need to market to.
100%. So we should have something that can fit everybody's unique perspective and kind of where they're at in terms of size and geographic location. And what impresses me, and it's very similar to how you were just kind of speaking, is you're never taking your foot off the gas, Lexie. Every time we launch something, or we're talking about a digital billboard campaign, or we're talking about MPI newsletter, whatever it is, I'm talking about February, and you're already talking about June or whatever's coming up. And it's very much that forward thinking of like, how are we not only focused on the now, but laying that foundation for our members in the future, 6 months from now, a year from now. Where does that come from?
Honestly, I think just the experience of working here this long, I think it's been really beneficial with that. And I think just knowing from, speaking with the members all the years and kind of learning how they view their business and their properties, and learning about how they specifically like to market to people, just learning that everybody has a completely different outlook on it. So trying to be able to match what they need is kind of it's the goal here. But also I kind of think, if you're not looking to the future, I mean, what are you looking for?
100%. And it's proactive instead of reactive, right? It's making sure that we're giving our members enough time to, see the metrics, run a couple campaigns and then get the data back and build that into their budgets. We're giving, a bit of a runway here for decision-making so that we can, offer as much value, but then members can see and then make decisions off of that value in real time without having to then re-up for the next thing. And you mentioned looking into the future a little bit. Let's say, we're sitting here 3 years from now. What do you think the targeted marketing program for WHLA looks like?
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless, honestly, with so many different things. If 3 years from now, there could be completely different digital advertising options that we're looking at. Things are just starting to find a way to advertise on, any AI platforms, because the AI platforms are learning, they're starting to buy those offerings. So is that something that maybe we could offer to our members? Yeah, we can, if we can learn how to do it, we might as well. That's one of my favorite things is just, I love learning new things. So as, all this changing technology comes into place, I'm just excited to, get into those things and figure out how they work, as well as just like, we're doing a lot better now, like you mentioned, with getting data back from all the campaigns. So I think that's going to drive a lot of the success of the program, is making sure people are actually being able to tie these advertising programs to their bookings, seeing what happens. But I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. And I think, there's all these, buzzwords like AI, but I think, having gotten to know you, Monica, Bill, the people heavily involved in the day-to-day of WHLA, whatever that technology is, it's going to be about personalization for our members and what's best for them and can drive ROI for them. Regardless of if we want to be on the cutting edge, we're going to try to be, but if we want to make sure we're also grounded in the history of what works, we're going to make sure we're doing that, so that we keep that volatility to a minimum. For a member, or maybe someone who's not a member yet, who will be in the future, who has never participated in our targeted marketing program before, what would you tell them?
I would say for somebody who's never participated is, we have plenty of low cost options that, you can just get your foot in the door and try out, because you never know. You can get an ad in, get our Getaways package for only $150. Getting that ad in that, you get the social exposure, you get the website exposure, like all that stuff. So there's super low cost opportunities. You might as well get the data back, see if it's working, take advantage of renewing your membership early so you can get those freebie ads. I think those are a great option for people, and then just kind of seeing how it goes. And, I think if they've been longtime members with us, they trust us enough to know that, we're knowing what we're doing. We're, listening to them. We're doing all that stuff. So I think just giving us the initial trust and then letting us push forward and get it. And I think it, could be great success for them.
Right. You can't be analytical without first being creative, right?
Yeah.
Like in order to find those trends, you have to throw some things at the wall, see what sticks, throw things at the wall again, see what sticks. And then you get the feedback, you get the data, and you see, all right, that didn't work. Let's try something else. And to have these low cost, low commitment efforts, it allows us to offer to our members an ability to market in a lot of different avenues and channels to see what works best again for them and their property.
Well, and plus they, if depending on what experience they've had, like especially, I'm thinking working with Denise and Parkwood, like they know what has worked for them in the past. So they give us that guidance, and that we trust our members that they trust themselves, So I think just knowing that, getting people started is, I think, a great thing, and just making sure that anybody who's thinking about getting into the program is that knowing that, we're completely transparent with all of our processes. We give them the data, and that nothing goes live without their final approval, I think is one thing that people are nervous about too. So just, you can't be afraid to take the risk.
We see it every day. Properties generating meaningful exposure with modest investments into the marketing. We're spending a lot of time talking about the marketing, the campaigns. Obviously it's an award-winning program now, so as we should, but behind all of that is someone who's managed to build all of that in the program, also preparing to welcome a new member to their family. By the time many members see this or read this, there's a decent chance you'll be on maternity leave. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited, about all the different, avenues that we're starting, all the different possibilities. I feel so confident in you guys. Working here, we've got you, we have you now, you're doing a great job. We have Catherine, we got Angelica, all new people in the office, which is great. And then, Monica and Bill trust you guys too. So we are so excited to have you guys on board. And I feel a lot better now. If this would have happened probably before you were hired, I probably would have been panicking a lot more, about targeted marketing and all that stuff. But I'm doing good. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm nervous about being out of the office and not being able to connect with the members. But that is what it is. And I'm really, excited to welcome a little one. I'm sure we'll have to make a WHLA onesie one of these days.
For sure. For sure.
But no, it'll be good. Learning to balance everything might be tough, but we'll figure it out.
I think every single member wants to jump through the screen right now and say, Lexie, WHLA will be here when you get back. Relax. Don't worry about work. Jordan burns the whole thing down.
You won't.
You rebuild it. Monica might have to steal my phone a few times from calling you with questions, but I really do think, we can speak for every one of our members and on the WHLA team that we're incredibly excited for you and your family. Although I'm wondering, has been planning for a baby been harder or easier than coordinating hundreds of member marketing campaigns?
I don't know. I think it could be both easier and harder at the same time, I guess.
Who would have thought there'd be so much overlap?
Yeah, I mean, there's some different things, and I guess I could say about with WHLA, like, I'm used to the schedule year after year now. Obviously, like we've talked about all the time, is we have different things that we work on every day, but like year over year, it's kind of, the same schedule and the same timeline. So like, that gets easier as we do it every year, and obviously planning for a baby is so many new things that you would never even think about otherwise. But no, I don't know if I could really pinpoint one as easier or harder than the other. But it's been fun.
All of them are a whirlwind, right?
Yeah, it's been a fun time either way for both of them.
Well, Lexie, congratulations again on the national recognition, and to obviously everyone associated with this in the team, and building a program that genuinely keeps its focus on its members and the people involved in it. The award's wonderful, but the real accomplishment is what we get to do day to day, the conversations with our members, and continuing to build those relationships. And to our members, thank you for trusting us with your business, your stories. We love telling them, spotlighting them. So please get in touch with us if you have any questions on our targeted marketing offerings. Anything that we could help shed light on that could add ROI and drive bookings and drive people to your properties. Reach out to myself, reach out to Lexie. She will be on maternity leave, but she can see those when she gets back. Congratulations is always nice as well. And
I would say too, any new ideas you have, things you want us to start doing or learn how to do, like we would gladly welcome those ideas. We're always looking to change things and help you guys in any way that we possibly can.
Wonderful. Yeah. On that note, thank you all for joining our WHLA conversation with Lexie Mallary.